We make a quick pit stop in Springshaw before we're back on the road towards Emerald, 45 minutes away. After spending a couple of days off-grid, I can't tell you how excited we are to see big shopping centres and petrol stations again. It's just a given that we'll be eating takeaway today. With a population of approximately 13,500, Emerald is home to a variety of large industries, including citrus, sunflowers, cotton, beef cattle, gemstones and mining. Not sure where to start? Why not make your way to the world's biggest Van Gogh sunflower painting in Moreton Park? With an information centre located right next to this attraction, you're bound to find something that will suit your interests. Out past the orange orchards is the Fairburn Dam, or Lake Maribyrnong. About 20 minutes from Emerald's city centre, this scenic spot is worth the extra drive. A night in Emerald meant that we were able to get our clothes cleaned at the laundromat, restock our fridge with groceries, and recharge our batteries before our 4.5-hour drive to Longreach. Approximately 3.5 hours into our drive, we passed through the infamous town of Burkhaldern, or the birthplace of the Australian labour movement. It is here at the Tree of Knowledge that the farmers of the wool industry gathered when they discussed better pay and shorter working hours before they went on strike in 1891. Though the strike was unsuccessful, it presented the need for a new political party to stand up for the needs of working people. In 2006, the 150-year-old ghost gum was poisoned, but the remains of the tree were preserved and a new memorial site was reopened in 2009. We're making our way towards Longreach, which is about an hour away. With a population of 3,000, Longreach is known as the gateway to the Outback. You can find wild emus and brolgas roaming around the city centre, and if that doesn't interest you enough, then you need to stay at the Longreach Tourist Park, where the owner takes his pet horse and bull around the campsite to say hello. Here we are at the Montes Founders Museum, where we'll be walking around through the museum, having a look at where Montes came from. We'll be going on the jet tour, and finally we'll be doing the wing walk, where we'll actually get to have to step out onto that plane behind me. Admission to the Qantas Museum, Jet Tour and 747 Wing Walk will cost you $130, but when you've driven all the way to Longreach, it's an experience that you don't want to miss. Not being much of a plane enthusiast myself, I was surprised to find myself completely engaged in the tour experience. Our tour guide definitely knew a lot about planes, but maybe it was her country hospitality and general down-to-earth nature that kept me interested to hear more. On board the Boeing 747, we got to check out the black box, which we learnt is actually bright orange. We also got to step on board the Boeing 707, which was leased by famous celebrities including the Jackson 5 and later owned by John Travolta. This luxury jet airline is one of 4 Boeing 707-138s that remains in existence and gives the average person a glimpse into the extravagant travel that the rich could afford in the 1970s to 80s. Back at the Boeing 747, we're ready for our private tour of the flight deck. Here, we get to see what the pilot's living quarters looks like, sit in the pilot seat, and get a chance to press all of the buttons.
Alright, so basically we just run you through all the buttons and stuff in big chunks. So, Jordan, if you pull your joystick towards you, mate, watch Jamie's at the same time. So move it, just move it.
We're taking off.
Oh no! Yeah, so they do the same thing just for safety. If someone's done something that way, you know, if someone's done something wrong, the pilot knows exactly what they've done because they're doing the exact same thing. So there's no reason for you to say he did that and I did this.
We've got our harnesses on and we're ready to step out of the plane and onto the wing.
That is a heater.
Next stop is the Australian Stockman's Hall of Fame and Outback Heritage Centre. Built in 1988 as a tribute to the unsung heroes of Outback Australia, the Hall of Fame is broken up into 5 themed galleries that depict the various aspects of pioneering history. Admission to the museum costs $32 for adults and $15 for children above the age of 5. Before we truly venture into the outback where we would meet corrugated, dusty and rocky red roads, we decided to add an extra layer of protection to the plumbing underneath the caravan. Being small enough to fit under the van came to my advantage, as I was able to wriggle myself under there, wrap ag pipe over the plumbing and secure it with zip ties. Thank goodness I'm not claustrophobic. As we say goodbye to Longreach, we look forward to what is to become the highlight of our Aussie Outback trip. Get ready for some very red dirt.